Hello everyone and welcome back to the 12th part tutorial of how to model the foundation of a house, where we will continue with our garage door. So first of all, before we will start, I want to tell you that I really did my best in order to try and figure out a few things here about how to continue this so the rig will, the result of the ring will be good, though apparently I have much more problems here than I thought, and I'm not sure why is that like so, but probably the main thing here is always measurements and stuff like this, which I really have none clue about how to make it happen. Anyway, for those who seen the rigging part and want to follow it as it is, please do so. I can't promise that I will be able to rig whatever we're going to continue here. So if you want to have just the rig itself as it work, but you can be satisfied with a secondary set where will you be able to show off the details inside the garage if you like to, then go and do so. Just have two different sets, like one with all the instruments that attach to this garage door and the other one for the rigging itself, which will help you animate the door the way that it's lifted up or down. Anyway, let's continue here. There is one more thing that I want to say here. Apparently I will have to stretch those two rails a little bit more than how they look right now. So that means that you will have to bring those two, right click, choose vertices, and I don't know, if you like, grab few here, vertices here, same section, like 4 here and 4 there, and just pull them a little bit more and press F8. You can shift right click, insert edge loop. I don't know, let's say like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, about 5, 6 edge loops here if you want to add them. So here and there, well, it's almost precise, so whatever. Anyway, you can stretch those a little bit and it will be precise anyway. So we've done with that, and there is an issue here that we need to address, and it's fairly very important for whoever will try to rig this thing and knows what it's doing. So I'm not sure if I told you, but we need to make sure that this pivot here, this not pivot, it's basically the the wheel here that goes into this track. We need to make sure it's centered to the edge here. You see the center edge of the rail. So in order to do so, I will press 1 to bring it back to smooth non-smooth preview mode. And I'm not sure if I have a confusion because I made so much attempts to create this tutorial and record it once and once over. I'm not sure if I skipped a few things that I know that these are very important things, so I'm gonna repeat it and just let it go. So you see this edge here of the pivot, this one, the middle one that cross vertically. So you need to make sure that this pivot is straight with this one. So whatever will be the situation here, I don't know, if your instruments is not attached perfectly to the door, those parts are not perfectly attached to the door. So at least you know that you can take these two rails and pull them, just push them a little bit so they will be centered. So this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to switch here to the front view, change my camera view to right side, and I'm going to modify, center the pivot for those two rails, switch to move tool, hold down the D and the V key. I just relocate the move tool over here so it will be easier for me to see and move it accordingly. Maybe a little bit down. DV, relocate it over here. It doesn't matter where it is, it's just as long that you can see it right now. So you can see that this edge of the rail, the middle one, the white one here, is crossing exactly at this pin here, okay, in the middle of it. Now, well, it's not exactly, so we can tweak this a little bit. Maybe bring this a little bit like so. And let's see. So right now the handle is straight on top. This y-axis handle of the move tool is exactly, you see it's selected the pin, but it's exactly on this center edge. So that's fine. Now with that done, I just want to check, sorry, another something. All right, so we have the instruments attached to the door. I'm not sure they're really there. Maybe they are. Well, let's assume that they are. Just make sure that they are there. If not, stretch them a little bit, the vertices. So with that said and done, we're gonna grab, sorry, all the doors here. I want to grab everything, okay? I'm gonna go over edit, delete by type, history, okay? Everything, all the history has been deleted. Shift right click on one of those door sections and insert edge loop tool options. Here you want to change it to 3 and make sure it's multiple edge loop ticked, and then just simply click on this edge. Next, select the door, each one of them, of those sections, and click on the edge. It will add those. You don't need to right click or something, just click on the edge. So we have divided this to 4 sections. Now this will help us to know better where to put those. So we have this instruments. Sorry, I'm gonna switch back to object mode. Grab those. Only these, okay? Not this instrument, but this instrument. So this, you're gonna switch to move tool, modify center the pivot for it. I know that right now the pivot is here and I don't want this to be there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over mesh, combine this feature, modify, center the pivot for it again, and now it will be exactly on the center. Now I recommend you to check this. So we're gonna switch to refine bookmark and front. Press F to zoom on it, and you can see that it's exactly in the middle of this instrument, and that handle of the move axis, which is the x-axis, is exactly on top of this, between those this intersection of those two door pieces. So with that said, I'm going to switch back to perspective view, hold on the V key, and simply move this along the x-axis over here. It's been attached there, I mean snapped there. Control D to duplicate, hold on the V key, move it here, and then Shift D again to copy the same path. Okay, so with that done, I'm gonna grab this and that, and make sure the doors are not selected, only those 3. Control D to duplicate them, hold on the V key, and move them so they will snap over this section, and Shift D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, right now you stop here, you have all those, and that's good. The second thing is to do the same thing over here. So you want to grab those, unselect the door, make sure only the instruments, and by the way, it's really easy to start and get rid of accidentally from the screws. Pay attention that you really do select those screws, otherwise you'll have missed screws here and there. I don't know. Just make sure that you grab them all. I'm gonna do the same, mesh, combine, okay? Modify, center the pivot here, and you can see that the pivot relay exactly on the same center. Although, I don't know, logically, a lot of time when you have few instruments, like few objects at the same position, it won't always be the center as you see right now. It could be that it will be somewhere else. So you will need to adjust it anyway to be at the same position where the pivot here. Okay, this is the pivot. This is not the pivot. This is where the wheel goes, but this is the pivot, and this is where you want your pivot to be. Okay. With that said, I'm gonna hold on, because I know that this is the position that it should be. I don't want to move this on any other axis than Y. Okay, so bring it up basically. So wait, undo that. Control D to duplicate this. Hold on the V key and just snap it over here. Now, if it doesn't snap, do a little bit more work on it. I'm gonna switch to this view. It's easier for me to obtain if it's really there or not. So it's there, and that's good. And then Shift D to duplicate this along this path. And here, basically, we need one more gear, one more wheel, basically, and as well as down here. So right now, do another Shift D. It will duplicate this, and then here you want to go over Mesh Separate, and you want to get rid of the upper part and delete it. Okay, I don't mind that you will have this extra thing here. If you want to refine this, if you want to, I don't know, get rid of this part or just edit it differently, then be my guest. But you will need to have another gear here anyway. So with that done, I'm gonna grab all of them at once. Again, don't forget you have screws. Oh, 1 second. I'm gonna grab the same instrument here. This one, unselect the door. I'm gonna duplicate this, mesh, combine it, modify center the pivot for it. Switch to, well, this will be a little bit tricky. Yeah, this will be a little bit tricky. I'm gonna undo that and undo the combine. It's not tricky, it's just I forgot about it. You want to grab this, okay? Only the piece here without the gear, and like so. And you want to go over Mesh Combine, modify center the pivot for it, okay? Like so. So the pivot is still on the same position where the gear goes. And then hold on, switch to rotation tool, hold on the J key, and flip this, okay? So here again, it's not exactly where it should be, I know. So I'm gonna lift it up a little bit and make sure that at least it's somewhat in the same position. Again, you can do this, you know how to snap things. I don't want to get into this right now. I really care about finishing this, at least this part. So let's grab this, Mesh Combine, switch to Move Tool. All right. Well, I have a feeling that I've done something wrong. Like, yeah, I did. Never mind. I'm going to copy the other one, so it will be easy. So I'm going to bring this over here, and I want to make sure that it's not passing the door height, like too low. So I'm going to switch to this fore view and front view. By the way, I'm on X-ray, so I can see things, you know, in transparent mode. So I'm just putting this in that way. So I will have something here. Again, you can refine this by simply get rid of this part here, and I am gonna do this right now. So with that said and done, and for some reason, look at this. Here it shows that I do have this instrument for some reason, but here it doesn't show. So I'm gonna try and select this. This is weird. Yeah, this is weird. So anyway, that done, I'm gonna grab this again, Mesh Separate, only these, except this, Control D, duplicate, Mesh, Combine, modify center the pivot, hold on the V key, and snap it over here. Let's see. You know what, we can even bring it here, but I'm not sure why I still have this thing going on there. Well, let's keep it that way. I don't mind, maybe like so. All right, so with that done, I'm gonna grab all of them, except the doors, of course, and I'm gonna combine them as well. Now, because they are in this side, I want to have another set here. So I'm going to duplicate those, Control D, and after I duplicated them, I switched to Move Tool. Now, I can't see the Move Tool because it's somewhere here. I'm going to center the pivot for this. And then I'm going to center the pivot itself by holding the D and the V and snap this to the center of the door. Okay. Now try to be accurate with this. I'm going to switch to this view to take a look at this. It looks centered to me. So while it's centered, now you can go and flip this. So this is the x-axis, right? -1, enter, and immediately it turns here. Okay, if you won't do this adjusting this pivot, they will appear somewhere else, and then you manually will have to bring them there. So I want them precisely there, so this is how it works. Done with that, all good. Now for whatever happened, and I couldn't really get into right now into details much. Well, I try a little bit, not much, because people doesn't like that I'm talking too much. Anyway, what I've done in my own experiments is to grab one piece. Basically what I've done is took all of them, added mesh, mesh, separated them to, individual pieces. Like I can hold this one or this one. So right now I need to grab all those and press G to do the same, separate them. The last function I used, so G will help me. Again, press G, and then again press G on those. Okay, so now all of them are separated. I'm gonna go over File, Save Scene As, and it will be my like I don't know, 8, 10, let's say 9. Okay, 9. Brush to 9. Save as. So right now, because all of them are separated, what I can do here is I can grab this door section, right, and pick only the instruments that should stay attached to this. So logically, it's these, okay, half cut of this instrument and this instrument, okay, and then this half cut, sorry, not this one, and these and these and those, right? Now, whatever you do, don't forget the screws and don't forget the door. So with that done, you can simply go and mesh combine them, okay? So now they will act like a one unit. And now you want to do the same for all the others. So you want to grab this one, and I will do this, a little bit carelessly, I don't know, something like grabbing all of those, and it's not exactly carelessly. I know that I will catch them all that way. And you can see I grabbed these here with the wheel, those and the screws. Nothing wrong here again. These, the upper and the bottom ones. Again here, you check yourself, and those here. And then mesh combine. Don't attach the rails. You will accidentally grab the rails and attach them. There will be problems. So you want to grab those like so. Control Shift, you can do this that way, step by step. If you don't want to make mistakes, I don't know. So you see, and don't forget the door again. Mesh, combine. Grab those. Now, well, I will do this from this view because it's just taking me a little bit too long. That, and again, I've done some problem here. I'm gonna do this over. Select only those. All right, switch to perspective view. I got the gear, wheel, instrument, health instruments, and so on. Here, everything good. The door selected and combine. Make sure you don't get the rails as well. Okay, the door, switch to this view. Mark, we select only the instruments that should belong, like so. Switch to perspective view to check yourself. I missed the gear here. Okay, this, everything good, good. Screws are there, selected, and this one. Okay, and mesh combine. All right, now this one. Sorry. And like so. I have a feeling that I forgot those as well. This gear and that gear. Let's switch to perspective view to check. We have them all, and all. No rails. Good to go. Combine. Now, the last section. Grab these. And don't forget the screws. Make sure that everything is selected like so. And we are good to go. Mesh combine. All right. So at this point, you have everything attached to these doors. And please check yourself. There could be problems sometimes. So just select each door on its own and see that all the instruments are there. Okay. And that it's combined, and the rails are not combined either. So I'm gonna smooth preview this, that, and you do have a problem because you can't really smooth preview the doors. So if you can't smooth preview the doors, you also can't smooth preview the instruments. So if you're in this situation that you do wanna smooth preview this instruments as well, you will have to add some extra work on your on these door sections. Now it's pretty easy because these are not firmed, like they are not patched to this door sections. You can still modify and add edges, like I will explain. Now, well, I can't really explain that way, but anyway, you will see if I'm gonna add edge loop here. So the logic says that if I'm gonna add one edge loop here, it will cross the instrument, but at this point it won't. Well, let me change the settings for this edge loop tool. Shift right click, insert edge loop tool options, reset, and now if I will add this, you see it's still considering only the door itself. So you can add those extra edge loops like I did earlier for the instruments and simply make this thing work for you. So you will be able to simply smooth preview this. So I've done with that. Now I need the side here. All right, and all I need is the side ear. And you want to do this very close, otherwise it will be, really close to each other, otherwise it will be very smooth. So now I can smooth everything and the doors still remain sharp in a way, okay? And it's also good because you will have some angles here and that's fine. But you see everything is smooth, and that's the answer for at least that part. So I'm gonna wrap this part at this point because other than that, I will simply need to try and think that maybe I will be able to do the rigging, but I know for sure that I do have problems with the rigging, so I don't want to get into this. We will simply continue somewhere whenever I will have time to model this thing. So thank you for watching, have a good day, and see you at the next part, whenever it will be. Bye bye.